does not have that good damage output in the early stages of the game. Neither does Clockwork. He needs levels to be able to rather set up for the team than be the big damage dealer for the team. So EG are kind of low on both damage and lockdown early on, and Na'Vi are high on both. So they could actually get off to a really good start, I think.
We'll see what happens, and with that, Gods and I are going to go to the couch seat and watch Synderen and Sunsfun cast the game of Na'Vi versus EG. Guys, Dota Cinema, take us away.
Let's do it! Funix will be playing the Axe for Na'Vi as we're going to go over their lineup. Dendi on the Quap with those beautiful wings. Vanscore, the Rubik. Dazzle's going to be played by Goblak, and that leaves good old Chavost on the DC Jug set. I have a quick question. I don't know if you know the mechanic behind this. How does Omni Slash interact with Glimpse? You actually should know this since you're a big Disruptor player.
If you get glimpsed and you start Omni Slashing
afterwards, yeah.
I don't think it pulls you out.
Okay.
Because it's invulnerability. It might be one of the few abilities that doesn't take it. It's a good question. You always have these weird mechanical questions for me.
I don't know why.
Well, it's good questions to ask. There are a lot of weird interactions in the game that you can't just intuitively you can't deduct based on other things how it would work, because sometimes it's just an odd one out. But I think that's one that doesn't get glimpsed back, but I could. Maybe we see it in the game. So
we'll see.
Okay, so for Evil Geniuses, the offlane will be played by Universe on the Clockwork. Toward the mid lane, Sumail will be playing as Shadow Fiend. What a surprise! Aoi 2000 onto Chen. Heading in towards his own jungle, together with Fear in the safe lane as Necrophos and PPD on Disruptor. Worth noting, Necrophos has 8 armor, because he starts with 2 and bought 6.
Yep, you're right. Pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous. Ever since that buff, we've been seeing that a lot more. Mount the double ring of protection. And
you are simply
it's going to be disrupt. Well, how do you think this lane's going to go?
I think.
And what is Dazzle level first, actually?
Wow, look at Funix. Just really. He wanted those 2 last hits. He got to pay 500 health for that. I think EG are going to win this lane easily. They have a duel versus duel with 2 ranged against an Axe lane with just Dazzle protecting it, and they have a Chen jungle. So Na'Vi can't play aggressively in this lane, because there's always the threat that they get ganked from behind by Chen, and even then, with Necrophos sitting on 8 armor, their damage output is not significant enough. So easily favoring EG for this one. The mid lane, I would say Dendi is going to probably win. He's off to a really good start against Sumail. He is 7 and 4 against 1 and 0.
Nothing new there
for Sumail.
The Deny Master Dendi himself. But the good thing about having a Shadow Fiend mid, even if he gets dominated, he's the hero that comes back pretty easily as long as the stacks are there. And it looks as if Chen, well, he's going to be getting some levels first, but I'm sure some stacks will come for the Shadow Fiend at some point. Is this, you were talking about how Sumail has been very disciplined, in fact, that he doesn't just go for the cookie cutter builds, like even his cookie cutter build all the time, bases it on how the game is going. Do you think Yule's this game is the correct choice? Because more times than not, he does go it.
I think it's good when you're... We're probably going to see an Orchid on this, so that's a nice way of dealing with that. In addition to that, probably... It's still a really good BKB game, though. So... Or how good is it really now that I look at it again? You can... Sonic Wave goes through it. So does...
Alright, Omni Slash.
Oh, Dendi! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thought he was going to have a little more health than that. He's got 20 left, so still alive, but Sumail getting close to him. I think Yule's is still good for his standard build. Yule's mech would be fine. On second thought, maybe the BKB is not worth it. Berserker's Rage goes through, Spell Duo goes through, Sonic Wave goes through, Omni Slash goes through, Weave, all of it.
More spells than not go through, actually.
Yeah,
so.
Telekinesis he can avoid Shadow Strike and Scream of Pain, and of course the Blade Fury, which Juggernaut doesn't even want to use unless he has.
He's probably going to leave that on level 1 for the majority of the game anyway.
Maybe it was for pretty bad BKB game. So I'm thinking Yule's into mech and then tank, some sort of hybrid tank build with maybe Scotty and the damage items could be nice. Or an Ethereal Blade somewhere down the road against the Juggernaut. It's also good.
Alright, well early on 16-1 CS for Chavos on that Juggernaut versus Fear on the Necrolite 13-1, so relatively even overall. Can we look at the level discrepancies between the offlaners? So the Clockwork... Wepis, you are the best, bro. There we go. 3.5. And, well, it is a dual lane, so I guess it's not easily comparable. Man, Fear, that set looks so good. Look at how it looks when it's paused. It's just glowing white. Yeah, you zoom in on that. I know you're not a big fan of the Egyptian style stuff, but I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker
Why
for
not?
it.
I like it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. I loved Age of Mythology. Great game.
I played Age of Empires.
Also a
personally.
great game.
AoE 2. That was the best Age of Empires. Then it just got trashy. How many did they come out with?
1, 2, 3, and then reroll HD version of 2 and HD version of 3, I think. And Age of Mythology, if you want to count that in the series, that was the 4th.
Like when they started getting to the area, like this time periods where guns were involved, it's like it's not as much fun anymore.
What game was that?
AoE 3.
Okay, they had
Age of
that?
Empires 3, yeah.
Okay. No.
Not as fun.
No.
But we're playing Dota.
Age of Empires 2 is the one that has the priests that go like, oh, la, 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 and then they mind control enemies, right? They had this very
been a while.
distinct sound that people always made fun of. I think it's that game. Where they would.
I was a solo gamer back in the day, so I didn't really associate with anybody else that actually played the same games as me.
So we were just like, this sounds stupid, but I can't laugh at it because I'm alone.
Yeah,
and no one will understand.
I'm not
why.
socializing with anybody. Just playing in my dark room in my corner. We're good to go. But looking at the CS mid, 13-11 as you talked about versus 9-4. So Shadow Fiend's be able to catch up a bit. Troll Trap, is it going to connect on Dandy? It is. I don't know. Oh, this is going to be close. Centaur Stomp a little bit too late. It was out of range. And Dendi gets out yet again. But they're pressuring him, and that's the beauty of having a Chen.
He's still ahead on CS, though. I think this is the first time we see Sumail having this hard of a time in lane.
It's to be expected.
It's an unfair matchup, and Ali hasn't helped him too much until now. So he's still got 9 and 4 against Dendi's 14 and 11. So it's not terrible by any means. But Dendi is a full level ahead almost. So he'll get level 6 when Sumail is level 5, and will probably be able to get a solo kill if Sumail is not careful. Dendi, I think he might already be setting up for it. He's got full mana right now. I don't think he wants to use any more mana than just a Shadow Strike, so that when he reaches 6, he can go for the snipe play, where he blink screams, Sonic Waves, and then that's actually enough right now.
And with the runes being taken by EG, he's forced to Bottle Crow, which is not exactly what he wants to do.
But at least Sumail doesn't get them.
Yeah, that is true.
Probably the most important
PPD
thing.
with
Funnick
Viz
is going to
top.
see him. Sentry Ward.
Berserker's
not
all
expecting
kinetic
that
field
one.
is placed. Is this going to be enough damage for him to get the kill? Funnick's now on the run, though, with Goblak kind of blocking his way. Thunderstrike dealing considerable amount of damage. Do they have Glimpse?
Yes, but it's level 1. And he's not in range to cast it. That could have been your first blood, but Dendi's now level 6. Here we go. He did, however, use a Scream. So does not currently have mana for the combo, as Sumail is just bottle crowing as well. Good old.
It's an old-fashioned 1v1 mid.
Yeah, same old stuff as...
At what level of Shadow Strike? This is another random... Well, it's not that random, though. But what level of... Oh, we're going to miss it, because that's my fault, Lepis. I apologize. I asked the weird questions, but Juggernaut's going to get the kill on Clockwork Bottom. What level of Shadow Strike prevents you from using bottles? Like the bottle charges?
Level 1.
Is that a change? That was a recent... not a recent change, but that's like within the last year, I think, right?
It deals... Level 1 deals 30... So every 3 seconds, it does a damage instance. So you can bottle between the ticks, and you always could, I think.
You always could. Are you sure about that?
I think so. So you can still bottle. You will almost get the full bottle because it. It takes off the Shadow Strike. As Dendi is raise.
Yeah, he's been taking a lot of raise damage this game, but he is out leveling Sumail, which again.
I think the thing you might be thinking about is Ion Shell, which does not break bottle on level 1, for example. It breaks it on level 2, because then the damage...
Ion Shell and Rot, yeah, I just feel
Rot,
like...
the same story, yes.
Yeah, I feel like... I don't know why I thought that was the case at some point.
But I think...
Funnick top lane.
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Taking a lot of... He's going to run into 2 Centaurs and a Troll Trap. He has a nice
call
Berserker call. He can do a lot of damage, but the Necrophyte...
Oh, that sounds nice.
I just want to call him Necrolite. Oh, Sonic Wave is going to destroy the 2 Centaurs, along with the Shadow Strike on the AUI, and down he goes Dendi. Level 7 now.
That's a really good kill when you get 2 Chen creeps as well at the same time, because not only does Chen obviously need to respawn and get back in the jungle, but he needs time. He needs to build his army again. That's another minute you buy your team without too much pressure, and to be honest, that's something Funnick will need in the top lane. This top lane is not going as well for Navi as they would have liked. Also not terribly, but it's just unwinnable. Fear is way ahead of...
Is this when Axe just goes to the jungle now? I mean, he's fully capable. He's level... Well, he's like level 5,
He's
right?
level 5. He's fully capable from level 1. What do you mean he doesn't need regen?
Oh, wait, he can...
Yeah.
Right, he can just do it a lot faster.
I wouldn't mind that, but at the same time, the question is what the price they pay is at top, because then Necrolite is obviously fully free farming, and then Chen can go elsewhere because there's no pressure. They don't have to deal with anything top. So by being top, there's at least some sort of pressure on EG to deal with. So I think it's okay. He goes back up there.
I mean, he has a Midas, so he's going to be out farming everybody on the map. What does Juggernaut have? Is he going for Midas as well in that bottom lane?
He has 1400 and phase.
He went phase first. Okay.
I would disagree with Midas and Jug. I think this is where you go for the Mask of Madness build. We finally have the game where Juggernaut's off to a great start in terms of farm. This is where you build the super Jugger build. Can he get the Omni? No. Nice play by Universe.
We cast a game earlier with Universe playing Clockwork, and it usually feels like he has such a huge impact on the game regardless of what hero he plays. It was not the case, and it could have just been the one game. So we'll see if he can change perceptions on that just a bit. PPD secure the top room for Sumail. It is going to be Illusions. And I'm wondering if they're stacking the jungle right now for Sumail.
Doesn't really look like it. I think Chen needs that himself. Yeah, honestly.
Well, I guess once they perhaps start to push a lane or two with that Chen, they can maybe just start stacking up a bit. I mean, the problem for Shadow Fiend is, typically speaking, he's the one that can clear out the waves really fast. He's going to turn around. Raze is going to connect on Vanscore, not going to be able to get the kill. Universe does not have hookshot yet. But what I was going to say is his wave clear is second to none, essentially, but Queen of Pain is not that bad either. So typically you see like a Shadow Fiend clear the wave, go to the jungle, stack, get some creeps, but doesn't have as much time with the Queen of Pain this time in the lane. And now Axe did move over to the jungle. Going to be stacking himself. He has a casual, so we saw the casual ring of health, not into Vanguard, but into Blink, and then he eventually got, I think, the heart actually.
I don't know if he needs the ring for though.
Oh, I'm sorry, he got Vitality Booster last time, wasn't the ring? Yeah.
I think it's a mistake this time to get the Vanguard. I'm generally not that big of a fan of it because I just feel like this hero has such extreme potential with an early blink, but sometimes you can win a lane off it, like really just dominate. And if you get free farm, you're very difficult to kill in the mid game, but this Vanguard is going to come so late that EG already, they have a lot of spell damage building up slowly with Shadow Fiend with 3 raises, Necrophos ultimate. Static Storm is going to be within not too long either for KBD.
TP support top lane for the Rubik.
No, he's going to just drop a Fate Bolt here, I think. There we go.
Fate Bolt down. Doesn't look like Chen wants to connect with them at the top lane as of yet. Bendy looking for the rune top. 10-minute rune. AOI scares the crap out of him with the 2 Centaur, 2 Trolls. And Invis rune goes to Sumail. Funnick in the meantime going to continue jungle. Has the Tranquils, and as he talked about, I guess he pretty much has to go Vanguard now because casual ring just doesn't make sense. But Juggernaut Math is finished, so you were correct. And at what point with Juggernaut do you just start fighting? Because this is like, it's still, in the grand scheme of things, this is still a new build, right?
Yeah, I think right now he TPs to kill. And else he just AFK farms the lane. Juggernaut, the way, with this build and the lineup he's against, I think he can hard carry this game. Which he also, by the way, has been drafted to do. So it's a hard carry Juggernaut. It's a single physical damage core for mid-late game unless you build that on Queen of Pain, which is situational, but I would say keep farming. And it looks like it's what Frost wants to do as well. He's a good hero against Shadow Fiend. And that's going to be the hero they want to shut down, obviously together with Necrophos, but they can maybe control him if Dendi goes for Orchid, which he doesn't. He is building either Aghanim's or BKB. Maybe he feels like he needs the BKB against the Disruptor.
On the Courier, yeah, it's going to be an Ogre Club. So it looks to be a BKB in all likelihood. There's a quad stack in the Ancients for Axe to take at some point in the game. But for now, I think EG is going to... Are they happy with the position they're in right now, or are they going to start pushing a bit with that Chen?
I think
the game is getting more difficult and difficult.
I think they're feeling okay. They probably realize that this game is pretty even right now. It's about, say, a few hundred gold behind and a few hundred XP ahead, so kind of negligible. And for their game plan, the later they need to fight when they commit to a Midas build and Necro, I think the happier they are. So if they can just slowly just farm up, as we do see Sumail indeed building for the Yules with the Void Stone.
The stack.
A lot of gold. He did go for the Vanguard, but when he act like this, I think it's okay. Then the blink isn't going to be as late as I thought. He's, as a matter of fact, going to be pretty close to it after this. So Funnick with a very big comeback in
He's
terms of
going to
harm.
have about 1,500,
Dyer's
1,600
bottom
gold.
tower
This is
under
really good.
attack.
You can just go in the jungle for another minute or so and finish that bad boy up. We have a smoke by AUI and PPD. Aoi has 4 creeps, 2 trolls. Dendi, if they can get the stun lock, potential for kill, especially with Shadow Fiend's raises, have just been decimating him this game. But he's playing extremely passive. Very smart play for Dendi. They're going to place a ward, like that EG's ward. Here they go. Kinetic field, he gets silenced. He's going to get glimpsed back. He does into the kinetic field. He is stuck in place. Right clicks are going to do a lot of damage to the Drake. Really cocky.
Great play.
Gets the
from
Sonic
Aoi.
Wave off and falls very shortly after. Funny has to chop the victim off 1 for 2 right now. Chen can go down as well. Make it 3. EG getting destroyed in this fight. Fear trying to do as much damage as possible. He gets his ult off. He gets it onto the axe. It's going to be down for 70 seconds. He is on the run right now with the support of Universe. And the healing ward will... Well, unfortunately, there's not enough mana for Navi to pursue any further.
Very nicely played by
use
Navi
culling
too, defensively.
or Omni Slash.
The Grave by Goblak, well timed. They do get all their spells off. Axe comes in at the perfect time, catching off Chen, chops him down before he gets the ultimate off, which is a huge loss for EG.
Radiant's bottom
And then they
tower
continue
is
into the
under
fight,
attack.
finding Sumail, bringing him down after the Requiem. And they can continue on. They get PPD as well. So I think that was a 3 for 2 overall. And as mentioned, Habost, he TPs for the kill. Nothing else. No, not going to actively search
Radiant's
for ganks,
bottom
just the
tower
counter ganks.
is
He's
under
back to
attack.
farming. Takes a couple creeps in the jungle on the way to the bottom. Is going for a Yasha build-up. Could be Sanji Yasha, which I would say if you're getting this item, which I'm not a big fan of in general, but if you get it, you should get it when you're ahead. It's a momentum-based item that's really good when you're dominant, so you can stay ahead. It's very effective in the moment and then falls off after 10 minutes. So if he gets the Sanji Yasha right now, that would be great. Else, other builds that are usually picked up on Juggernaut in this order would be into an Eye of Skadi now, or the Manta, and then Abyssal Blade is the very classic pub Juggernaut build these days. I was good. Looks like it's going to be the SY for Host.
It looks like it's going to be a Yules for both Sumail on the Shadow Fiend and for Fear on the Necro.
That ways of dealing with Omni's Lash.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, it's such a good utility item in general. Like I feel like it's almost never a bad pick. I mean, sometimes maybe it is a bad pick on the core. If you're going to have a Sumail, you're not going to get any support from your team as a Culling Blade just chops him to pieces.
Meanwhile, Frost, what lane? I don't know if they can get this kill. They do have Static Storm. They open with Hookshot into the storm. Here we go! They're going to do exactly that!
Static Storm, like we talked about, kinetic field, the kind of right click, battery fell through a lot, and down he goes to the Reaper's side. 75 seconds on the deck.
Very nice. Just barely gets that Necrophos ulti off, but it is so important. They know it's completely unnecessary to get
What
the
a
kill.
KS.
But
Radiant's top tower is
Okay,
under
the only
attack.
here that's fine to KS with, right? Yeah, maybe there's somebody else.
deliberately
Dyer's
just
middle
kill.
like there might be
Shadow
tower is
King
under
sometimes,
attack.
then you fill up your souls. That's also nice.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a great kill for Fear. I think they also
Dyer's
rather have the kill
structures
gold
are
on him than the
fortified.
Clockwork or a Disruptor. Fear
Dyer's
needs to
middle
get big.
tower is
Oh, I'm
under
gonna give up
attack.
this top tier 1. They're not even gonna pop fortification
Radiant's
for
top
it.
tower has
They didn't
fallen.
notice.
3 tower. Goes away to AUI with that beautiful wolf.
They're pretty busy mid, but
Radiant's
could have
bottom tower
flipped
is
the
under
spec
attack.
right now.
Oh, glimpse on the Goblak, but I don't think
Radiant
EG wants to pursue.
structures are
Hookshot's still
fortified.
down. Oh wow, Test of Fate almost brought him down actually. So right now AOI has a Wolf Commander, I don't know what it's actually called, Alpha Wolf, right? And a couple Centaurs as well. Needs to get that 4th creep up and running. He's getting close to his mech.
Radiant's bottom
That'll be
tower
quite, that's
has been
again,
denied.
that's an item we've just never seen. But in conjunction with the Necrophos, they have a lot of healing action going on.
Yeah, and with him getting that Shadow Fiend doesn't. And the question is what Sumail's build-up is. I think he needs to tank up more. He can't use Yule.
Scotty right off the bat.
I think that would be a good
Do you
choice.
think it's a little risky to... I mean, it's actually not that bad of a build. I mean, it's a very expensive build-up, but he gets a lot of gold and he gets it really fast. Here, PPD, seeing the Yules coming to play into a Static Storm. That's the combination they want to go for. Here's the hook shot. Universe finds Vanscore and Goblak in there. Denny's going to be the first to fall in this engagement. Dazzle could not even get off Grave in time. This is a disaster. Omnislash starts off on Illusions. It does a little bit damage to Fear, but not really enough. Fear does not have Reaper Sight at the moment. Universe is stuck in his own cogs with Kavos. He gets the Blade Fury opportunity, Reckoning with Soul Team use as well. Universe is going to TP out Kavos on the run. They lose 4. Kavos the only survivor, and they're going to clean up this tier 1.
So they don't
Radiant
lose shield.
structures are
What?
fortified.
Close
Radiant's
blade.
middle
No.
tower is under attack.
That went right over my head.
Got him. Well, EG, they're going to claim 4 kills. Very important that the Grave doesn't come off. I think Na'Vi just also a little bit out of position there. Kvothe pinged out. He pinged. It was like he pinged himself. Hey guys, I'm going to go on this with Omnislash. Then it was an illusion. Yeah. So he Omnislashed the illusion of SF, and then he unfortunately jumped onto the clockwork that he couldn't really finish off. And Na'Vi just outplayed in that situation. They didn't get their abilities off, and EG, very good lineup at snowballing in fights. Once they get ahead, they can always glimpse targets back. They have Necrophos in the front lines dealing damage all the time. Shadow Fiend was untouched, and really, that was a big swing. That's got to put EG in a pretty favorable lead. Look at that gold graph. Wow.
AUI his mech.
What a dip.
And the core items are gonna... They're not gonna stop. Another smoke picked up. Fear has his Blink Dagger. I love seeing Blink Dagger as second item. He, in all likelihood, will go for the Ags next, and that's when he becomes super scary. Once he has level 3 ult, to go along with the Aghanim Scepter. Good initiation possibilities. Tier 1 tower getting around a bit, but the zoo of Aoi is there to defend. What is Dendi going for right now? Is he going for the Orchid? Oh boy. Godlock's gonna get glimpsed. He's gonna get stuck in the kinetic field. He graves himself. Static Storm being used from a defensive measure. And Godlock, poor guy. He actually goes down to the Reaper side. that was like a 1 HP Reaper side, I feel, but puts him on the
deck. Doing a really good job at finishing these kills off with Fear. And then he's gonna just... That was the weirdest blink I think I've seen.
Oh, Fear?
He blinked Fear when they were going to do it.
He double tapped it.
He must have double tapped, but that's a short range blink still. Still looks like, okay, let's do it again. A little bit of misclick. Doesn't matter at all though. He's back in the roach pit.
Oh, funny. He wants to go. He gets Yules. Sumail gonna find himself in that kinetic field with Phonic. My god, he's decimated. He's gonna go down with that Requiem Soul from Sumail. Gonna right click Denny. He's gonna run away. He's gonna pop his one live for now. Gets the Sonic Wave on 3 heroes. Universe is almost dead. Aoi as well. The Scream of Pain finishes off 2. Universe now on the run. He's gonna pop his cogs. Denny has a blink very shortly. 2 seconds. I'm not sure if he's gonna get enough though.
He's gonna go for it.
He does have a haste. He's gonna pursue. Nope.
Just kidding. He's not gonna go for it.
Fear buys back into the game.
Careful.
Again, Shadow Strike on a PPD. Fear does not have his ultimate, uses his Yules. Universe, you better be careful as well, buddy. Well, that Death Pulse is going to follow him. It would be enough to get the kill.
Okay, this is actually going to be exciting. He can tread switch and blink.
Well, how far can he go? Well, he might want to... They're going to get Roche.
He has to blink again. He has enough mana regen to keep blinking away from this.
I think you're right.
He's gonna live.
Where the hell is it?
It's here. Here we go. He might have outrun it entirely now, so it doesn't get vision. Very nice escape. They get the Roach too. That's now to get right back in it with that team fight. Sumail, he got in behind enemy lines and got a decent Requiem off, but that also isolated him from his own team, and Kvothe immediately got onto it, ran the Shadow Fiend down, who doesn't stand a chance in the man fight right now, and got the kill.
Look at the graphs, flip-flop just a bit. Both teams, I mean, it's pretty even still. After that fight, it evens it up a bit, because EG was definitely having favorable advantage, but Roche goes the way of Na'Vi. Couldn't ask for a better result. Blink Dagger, of course, on Axe he's going for. Is that a hood he's going for? Into a pipe? Looks like
if he isn't going for a hood, this is a casual cloak into Force Staff and maybe a Vlad's.
And I have not seen pipe in a long time.
Me neither. It's really good this game though. I'm glad to see them pick it up. I know it's kind of a running joke that commentators are like, pipe is the greatest item ever and teams should always be building it, which I think a lot of the times when it's talked about it's not really merited, but in this game it's just phenomenal. There is... The Static Storm always hits multiple targets almost in these fights. The Shadow Race is the same story, and the Requiem. With an early pipe, I think now you have a 10-minute period in which they're just stronger in team fights, hands down. And the thing is, EG's lineup is not about bursting targets. That's one of the things pipe is bad against, is when you get picked off so fast that you don't even get to use it effectively. But EG's damage comes over time. The majority of it. Requiem is a burst, but he sets up for that. You get to see that you get the visual cue that he's blinking in and he starts Requieming, or Yules is, and very easy to get a pipe off. So I like the choice from Funky. I hope he upgrades it and doesn't just keep the hood for himself. And that's going to put Na'Vi in a really, really good position if they keep the momentum going. This is probably a tier 1 for them. They're currently trading for tier 2 top though. It's not really the best of position making, to be honest. As they have it lit, they want to try to hold. They don't.
How many TPs? I mean, they have all their spells up too, but they're going to be content with the tier 1s for tier 2. And the question is, do they want to continue to push? The Yules, as we saw, was
Dire's
picked up
bottom
in a lot of
tower
ways
is
to set
under
up the
attack.
static storm
Radiant's
to the
top
point where
tower is
the
under
kinetic
attack.
field is pretty much guaranteed every single time, at least on one target. And it's pretty powerful combination. Not to
Dire's
mention
bottom tower is
Sumail
under attack.
being able to get in there with a Requiem of Souls, so he doesn't even... Oh, he has his Yules of his own. So he
Radiant's
actually could
top
set up for
tower is
2.
under attack.
Man, that is a disgusting combination now that I think about it. 2 Yules on 2 targets for a static storm / Requiem of Souls initiation.
Dire's
like a mini
bottom
song.
tower has fallen.
It's pretty sick.
Radiant's top
Sumail.
tower is under
Well, he
attack.
could have canceled the TP, but didn't get there in time. Sumail now.
Could have also canceled that one. Funnick, he's supporting right next to him. He's like, oh, well. I mean, he might have not even seen him. The fog.
They just have a truce. Let us TP out.
At daytime, he hookshots that, I'm sure.
And Hood now officially onto Funnick. With 2 minutes left on the Aegis.
That's
quite relatively early,
It's
too.
getting really scary.
And he's going to have just the recipe away.
This is the kind of Juggernaut I was expecting going into this tournament that we would be seeing a lot. A safe lane Juggernaut that gets free farm because he's hard to contest, and then just gets ahead. Kvost
Wow.
has a 3k net worth lead on down to the Necrophos. Currently sitting on Mask of Madness, Sanjin Yasha, Basher, probably turning either the Basher into an Abyssal Blade next, or building the Skadi and then finishing Abyssal after that. If he wants the Skadi, he probably buys an ulti orb now. So I think he's going for the big item, which obviously from a damage perspective, Abyssal Blade's way better when you have a natural crit in the Blade Dance, 35% chance of double up. This Juggernaut, they're gonna need to find a solution for Kvost. It's a pretty even game. They're 4,000 gold ahead and experience is 0, but as far as the Juggernaut, I don't feel like EG counterpicked him that much, and he was the 3rd pick for Navi.
I mean, they knew they were going to pick him up.
Yeah.
It's not like just some random hero they picked up, so... That's true. I mean, if they can get the jump on him with a Clockwork into Reaper's Scythe or something like that, and it's still technically possible. It's just very difficult considering that Navi has great initiation.
Radiant's
And he has
bottom
mages
tower
now.
is under
And
attack.
Rubik, by the way, picked up a Blink. That's just showing you how much farm these supports have right now.
Thanks with the
And
pipe.
what kind of good steals can he take? Hook shot. He can steal Static Storm probably. That's actually because Kinetic Field is typically placed
Radiant's
first,
bottom
but not with
tower
this
is under
Yules
attack.
combination that they're doing now. You don't have to put the Kinetic Field down first.
It varies
Dire's
what way you
top
do it. If
tower
you really
is
need the
under
silence
attack.
fast, you generally drop the Storm first. But yeah, you're right. It's way easier for them to set it up with the
Dire's
Yules.
structures are
Oh,
fortified.
maybe we're never going to get a fight against
Radiant
this game. So
structures are
They're
fortified.
happy to just trade
Trading
towers.
towers.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is
I-
Necro
under
actually goes
attack.
Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, he needs that.
Obviously very good against Omni Sight and the
Radiant's
physical damage that
bottom
comes from
tower
Navi in
has
general.
fallen.
Do you think he...
Who's faster?
Yeah, I was going to say, this is...
I think EG are faster.
Radiant's
I mean, they have
bottom
3
tower
big
is
boy
under
creeps
attack.
from Chen.
One of them's a wolf.
Dire's top
And one of them
tower
is a wolf.
under
You are
attack.
correct. The bullet's going to pop. Oh, Funnick's going to jump in onto PPD, Scream of Pain, and down he goes for the Coney Blade. So it's a 4v5 technically speaking, but still,
Radiant's
Navi
bottom
getting
tower
outpushed,
has fallen.
outmaneuvered with this Chen army. They are going to get the tier 3 top.
Dire's top tower
Is this actually going to be a trade of racks?
Dire's
Okay,
top
we're going to have some
barracks
TPs
are
back.
under attack.
As Universe and company,
Radiant's
here
bottom
looking for...
tower.
That's a full rack bottom, though. Here's the initiation now from Universe. He pops his blade. I'm not going to do anything against the Blade Fury. Funnick gets a nice reverse call. Static Storm plays with Kinetic Field. Universe gets the 4-step out, but dies pretty much right after that.
Dire's
Necrophos gets Omni Slash to death. Did he not have no scepter? He must have used it earlier. Sumail gets Berserk Call. He's going to go down. This is a disaster for EG. Despite losing, or despite getting the bottom racks, Navi might be able to get more than just his top racks, although there are buybacks here. Sumail, that's one of the worst buyback heroes in the game. He respawns with half his
Dire's
soul,
top
so his
barracks
effectiveness
has
is
fallen.
essentially, well, halved. Tier 2s are down for both mid and bottom. They can go for this.
Navi's going to get 2 lanes.
This is going to be 2 lanes of racks,
Dire's
perhaps.
middle tower
Necrophos is
under
up in
attack.
50 seconds and he didn't use his ult. Did you check if his Ghost Scepter was used? I'm so confused what happened there.
It was ready when he died.
Dire's
I
middle
checked
tower
2 seconds
has
after he died,
fallen.
and it was not on cooldown. So I don't know. It didn't seem like he was caught by it, but I'm thinking it might have just happened. I did not realize Juggernaut was getting Alright, from Necro.
Jumps in with his blade mail. Funnick stuck in the cog. This might be the sacrificial lamb for Navi, but Pipe is popped. He's going to survive a lot longer thanks to that grave. His blink is going to be up if he doesn't get hit, but no, the Necrophos ult is going to ensure that he goes down to the grave. 83 seconds on the deck. Gobak was trying to assist, but it's going to fall in the end. So they defend
hold.
their mid-rack. That was super scary for EG fans out there.
They paid their Shadow Fiend buyback and their Necrophos buyback to still lose a tier 3 tower. That's
And Kavos has 6,400 gold right now.
60,000 million gold.
He can pick up any item he wants.
He's gonna buy the
I think it's going
Abyssal
to be Abyssal, yeah.
and Probably even if he's extra greedy, he could send it back to the base for a little bit of an ulti orb upgrade, which is ulti orb itself. Or he could just buy it in the side shop if he wanted. Or alternatively, maybe he doesn't go for the Scotty. Maybe he goes.
Universe finds Van score. This is gonna be an easy kill.
He could go full hard mode. Yeah, this is
Battery Assault. Okay, he
maybe
gets
not.
telekinesis.
He has kinetic field stolen.
4 staff cogs, and comes.
Oh, look at it! That looks like a game of checkers. Now it's gone.
Thanks for that.
Come on, or somewhat a chessboard. A little bit. They might square down.
So Dendi has BKB. He could
Oh,
use it here if he really wants to. Is that the 10-second?
It is 9 seconds.
Oh, that was now 9-second BK Bizzle. Okay. Fear's Reaper Scythe is now online again. He has the point booster, and this, despite EG being down right now, that Aghanim Scepter can turn this game in just one fight. I mean, that's how powerful that ultimate is. Oh, I like Blink Dagger on Chavost.
Yep.
I mean, if you get stuck in an Omni Slash on Fear, who has Ghost Scepter, you can just blink out and just go for somebody else. I mean,
alternative would have been Diffusal, which also gives him
that's
damage.
true. That's a good point, actually.
But the nice thing about the blink is that if you're about to kill off the target with Omni Slash, and the Omni Slash would end in the air, you can jump to the next target when you see it happening. That's a really nice boon. It also makes him have an easier time split pushing in general. He's going to move faster, of course, just blinking across the camps, and feel safer from ganks in general. But if he gets jumped by the clockwork, that blink isn't going to do anything. But then he's just Omni Slash.
Shadow Fiend not saving for buybacks. He's going to get his butterfly right now. And probably the right choice, considering that he just bought back, so it's on cooldown.
I honestly don't know if this item build from Sumail in this game is good enough.
What, Blink, Yule's, Butterfly. Yeah. Do you think a Scotty would have been pretty good here? I mean,
it kind of feels a little bit autopilot to me, as I call it, when you just go the same build as always, and you have like a standard way of playing the hero, and you just kind of do it every single time, regardless of what you're against. I haven't really seen this build in this game be that useful, to be honest. I think raw brute force fighting power instead of both the Blink and Yule's could have been perhaps better, or some sort of health. Because sure, the Butterfly is nice at evading some of Juggernaut's attacks. He still dies to a full Omni Slash, even with the evasion, so it doesn't really matter. He could have got a Ghost Scepter and built an E-Blade instead, and then he could have E-Bladed himself, maybe get some ultimate off. Maybe that puts him in a better position to fight. We'll see if this Butterfly comes out.
Even a BKB on the Dazzle, this is insane.
Really? Oh, God.
Jesus.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I've seen that. PPD
that's
Company
very rare.
wanna defend this road,
Funnick.
but Funnick and company wanna go on top of EG as Dendi gets a Shadow Strike on PPD. He's gonna get glimpsed back, but Universe taking a ton of damage. The cogs are not gonna save you. The negative earn charge might be enough. He's bottling up. He might live through this. He has the TP. I think he's gonna be okay somehow. And back he goes. So somehow, some way, no casualties in that other than Roshan.
Still a pretty big casualty, but
He's a big boy.
in a sense it was expected Navi got this anyway, so I don't know if you can call it a loss.
Look
for
at
him.
how many wards he has compared to...
Radiant's
Look at
middle
the-
tower
decent
is under
vision.
attack.
Both teams have very aggressive wards as bottom lane is continuing to push in.
Sumail's going to use the Flutter. He's going to surf across the water really quickly. Now he's not so fast, but got way out of harm's way, away from Navi's side of the map. And yes, they lose the Roche. Now comes the real challenge for Navi. This is about getting the second set. Because I think if you just play safe now and just play a farming game, the imminent Necrophos Yules becomes...
Oh my. Is he dead?
Wait.
Shadow Strike?
Because TP.
Oh, he's
Hand of
dead.
God.
There you go.
Is that, I feel like we haven't barely seen that this game. Hand of God.
And I got, yeah, that's true. Well, he's been like just focused down for the most part. I mean, Axe is such a good counter to that hero. Aghanim Scepter, there we go. For Fear. That is their main hope for survival in this game.
So the longer Navi wait, the Aegis is like their biggest ticket to ending the game. Because then the Necrophos ult cannot remove Juggernaut from the game for 2 minutes, but rather just take him down. They cannot afford. If they use equal side on both stages, I think they lose the game.
It's a waste. You can't do that.
They're gonna need to get a hero out who can't buy back and come back. Because that's another thing. If they kill Kvost, even kill him twice, if they focus him early, he can probably still buy back and buy Boots of Travel at this rate. So, this is scary. Yep, that is true. He does have a Black King Bar.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Brian. That's a good idea. If you sit in Brian's chair, just make him look bad on camera. That's good.
Exactly.
It totally was Brian.
Oh, BKBs galore. gonna be picked up by Na'Vi. They have 2 right now, but do you think more BKBs would be the right choice for Na'Vi? Just against the Reaper side, that's actually Necrolite taking a ton of damage from below. He took the Omni Slash. Funny, can he get the Golden Blade? It's gonna be enough. Static Storm's gonna silence him completely. A self-fuel by Fear gonna keep him alive, and he's gonna heal up thanks to that.
Na'Vi are in that position.
Funny, hell out of it. Sumail wants to get the Requiem Sword, but get Berserker called. Right click's definitely gonna suffice, and I don't know why I always say that. I never actually know. Glimpses down, but there's the Reaper side. It's gonna be saved. Great save from Dazzle. And
that was
Funnick
last.
okay, so now that
Radiant's top
Reaper Scythe
tower
is
is
down,
under attack.
but Omni Scythe is down as well, but still. Is this the push that you want as Na'Vi?
I know, what else did
Radiant's
EG
top
use? They used
tower
Static
has
Storm.
fallen.
They did not use Requiem. Well, you can use Hookshot and Hand of God. There's a lot of ability to use. I think they can actually go. They still have the
Dire's
healing ward up and
bottom
running.
tower is
Everyone
under
is back to full health. Godlike did not use his BKB, so he'll be able to BKB Graves
Dire's
pretty much
structures
guaranteed.
are fortified.
Which is, of course, the reason he did pick it up was to counter out the Static Storm and the Requiem on himself, and as well as the
Gonna shot in. Funnick stuck inside the cogs with the blade. Now he's a half out to begin with Sumail. Nice Requiem Sword is gonna reduce a lot of damage, but Dendy's BKB is doing some work here. BKB on the run, along with AOI, half HP. Fear. If he goes down, this could be game. Chop is incoming very shortly. He's gonna go down.
They got them.
That is
Actually,
2 dead.
well.
That is Sumail and Fear on the deck with no buybacks. Could this be EG's first loss of the tournament? TPD puts down a desperation Static Storm, which will actually work.
Still gonna die before the Hand of God. Same as
Hand
last
of
time.
God. But they're going to get at least 2 racks, if not more. And GG's come out. Looks like I'm wrong yet again.
You're actually the ultimate. You're the
I'm the
ultimate
jinx.
caster curse
It's-
of this tournament.
Then you guys just pick the opposite of me and you'll do well.
Well, yeah, that's true. I should have called Na'Vi. It was even a 3-for-1,
I
right?
know.
We got 3-to-1 odds if Na'Vi won. Everyone still picked EG.
Not everybody.
Yes,
Somebody.
everyone.
What? No. Somebody picked Na'Vi.